Hello, everybody. Welcome to the sound test strip. Can you hear me okay? Hello, everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Okay, so what was that? What have I been doing today? Well, just having a mess around, bit of a mess with this, bit of a mess with that, you know what I mean? Like the usual stuff. I can't hear anything in my 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1. That's better. Hey, right. Okay. So we're taking a look at. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the sound test room. Got to say that first. We're taking a look at Phosphor 3. It'll be a tutorial as well. Basically, let's just run this default patch. So the default patch is quite nice. It's an additive synthesizer. It's basically a direct clone of the Alpha Centauri synth from way back in the day. And it's kind of a wavetable synth. It's like Phosphor 2, obviously, and Phosphor 1 on the desktop, Phosphor 2. But everything is on one page now. It's a lot easier to work. The modulation is awesome on this. You can modulate anything with anything. It's really good. We'll get into some modulation because the modulation is just epic. So there's no modulation going on here. Actually, there might be. I'm not sure. Let me just have a look. Let me see. Tiny bit of cross modulation. But nothing here. Oh yeah, velocity, right. So obviously there. Turn that down actually. So as we don't need to assign modulation to get it to work, obviously. I'm getting ahead of myself, right? So we have two voices or two oscillators, if you like. They're exactly the same. They run together. I think they run in parallel. I'm not really sure. You have the ability to add harmonics to each. Yeah, I'll get into all that, Sam. As I go through it, I'll explain all that as well. Anyway, so two voices, I think, running in parallel, I think, kind of thing. Each voice is completely independent. Well, what Chris has done is give you some waveforms that kind of set you up with a. Let's just do this. Sawtooth, triangle. Square wave, basic approximations. Then you have a randomize. Which randomizes lower regions because Chris said that if it randomized kind of everywhere like this, it gets a bit like it can get unpleasant. So randomizing will kind of randomize lower regions. And then in the harmonics, you can have 16, 32, 64. You can see that 16 is right at the end, and it's warm and more kind of lo-fi. I actually really like this. 32 obviously is going to add much higher end harmonics. And 64 again will be. So beautiful. I really do like the 16, the lower end of the harmonics. Then for each oscillator, we have a DSR, and you can, you don't need to figure. You've got attack here, like this. And what's nice is you've got the curve as well. So the attack curve, and it can be logarithmic or exponential or linear. It's linear now. So if we move it kind of down, we're going to go with exponential, which is lovely. So it'll be kind of slow to start, then a very quick ramp up to the actual decay point. And you've got that for the actual, and then we can go. So we could go logarithmic, so kind of fast and then kind of slowing off. And that's for both of those, of course. And so you have the curve for the attack, the decay, and the actually release as well. So it's really. And then the third page here for each of them is basically the oscillator controls. So if oscillator level, noise level, noise is linked to the oscillator level. It's kind of all tied in because this is basically a clone of the Alpha Centauri. Chris has kept all this pretty accurate. Oscillator pan is self-explanatory. You have two oscillators. You can pan one hard left, one hard right. You're not going to hear this obviously because it's a mono stream. Then we have oscillator transpose. So let's do it with this. We can transpose. Let's transpose oscillator 2 like this. Let's transpose it 12 steps. And let's transpose oscillator 1 down 12. You've got fine tune, which will give you chorusing. Okay, so let's just, I'm going to take my attack down again. Now, these little Pac-Men kind of put the oscillators back into the original state that they were on the Alpha Centauri, so you'll get some aliasing here and there. You won't hear the noise until I... See, it kind of reduces the bit rate. And if you'll notice, even if I've got the noise level turned right up, it'll be adjusted at the oscillator level. Brilliant. So there you go. And this is again the same for each one. This is cool. As we get back to this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the level of oscillator 2 down. It won't really make much difference, but and go back to this. This oscillator cross modulation, if I start to, I'll take it completely off. When I apply this, Oscillator 2 is modulating Oscillator 1. Okay, so and if we have this set slightly differently, the effect will obviously be different. You can get some of the craziest effects in the universe, right, by doing something that you wouldn't normally want to do, but by running the cross modulation on Oscillator 2 as well. Check this out. This is mental, but you can get some very cool stuff if you use this very, very sparingly. But let's not use it sparingly. Listen. So now we're modulating voice 1 with Oscillator 2, and it's more sensible, of course. See, these are lush. And I don't sound quite like anything else because the original architecture of the Alpha Centauri, Chris was saying that that was made before they'd even like kind of done wavetable synthesis, so they kind of made everything else up. And when they were designing the synth, so they come up with this. But it is an additive synth, obviously. You're not taking anything away. You're adding everything in. You're adding all the harmonics back in. But I do like a bit of the old... Now... This is full-blown madness, especially if we now decide to switch all the old style stuff on and bang some noise in. I have no idea how this is going to sound. It's like a... It's like a bomb. I think that's very cool, but a bit mental. So, LFO1, LFO2, freely assignable to anything. You've already got some start-off settings for LFO, LFO1 and 2, and also the delay. If the delays, let's turn that off. And let's take our release down. I don't know what we've got going on here. Oh. So, right, so you can hear the delay there because we've got a very plucky. Sustain right down, so we got super plucky sounds. So the delay time, delay feedback. So delay is on. We could basically turn them off. Very little. So no delay, and we're heavily filtering the delays. So cool beans. So the filter, if we have it basically kind of set this. So messing with my modulation wheel, I've got absolutely nothing going on here. So let's set some modulation up now. Let's just put a bit of sustain back on here. Tiny bit of release for each of the envelopes. Cool beans. So we don't need to use the LFOs for modulation. We can use anything. Anything you want. You can you can modulate LFOs with LFOs, delays with delays, blah 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 blah. To see any modulation destination, just double tap on like any of these sliders here, or if you go into this section, double tap on anything here. So anything that you can now see that's got adjustment on it can be modulated by either the LFOs or your mod wheel or stuff, but you will see the actual mod sources when we double tap on something. So for instance, let's modulate, for instance, the transpose of Oscillator 1. So we double tap it there. And these are our modulation assigned. So we've got LFO1, LFO2, velocity, aftertouch. The key step has aftertouch on it, right? So no, pressing harder on the key will do nothing. But let's modulate the octave transpose with the aftertouch. So let's move aftertouch up and then pressing harder on the keyboard will modulate the oscillator transpose. Probably not the greatest destination. However, we could modulation for oscillator transpose has now been modulated by LFO1. You'll see that Chris has already assigned pitch, and we could take that down to maybe. Or we could take it away from LFO1 and assign it to our mod wheel. So or let's tap on LFO1 here and assign that to the mod wheel. Yeah. And that, guys, that's everything. That's everything. It's really, really nice to program because it's all there. It's easy to modulate stuff. The LFOs have got different. And also you can modulate by either synchronization or frequency. So if you turn off the little step buttons here for any of them, you'll now get into your time will become seconds on the delays and hertz on the LFO is not going anywhere, but you get into ring mod. Yeah, you can send anything to Aftertouch, Stephen. Like, for instance, well, we'll send, let's have a look, Oscillator Fine Tune. Let's send that to Aftertouch, shall we? Modulation, let's send that, sorry, to LFO1. Let's send it, let's go to delay time, send that to LFO2. Anyway, they're kind of extreme examples. Here's a patch I made called Sitar. It's hyper simple. So. And if we actually have a look at that patch and what it is, you can see with any modulation destinations and stuff, the actual envelopes are identical, and that's it. That's the patch. And then the only other patch I've made so far is this called Expo Pad. I call it Expo Pad because it uses exponential. I don't think it did on the second voice now, but it uses exponential attack curve on the ADSR, the first ADSR, and it's lovely. Listen to this. You get the initial attack of voice 2, and then voice 1 kind of fades in, starts to fade in, and it fades in very fast. So it's like a. And then even then, I guess I could have less, actually could have no sustain on either of those, and then increase the decay, I guess, like this. Ooh, this would be nice. I could make the curve, decay curve, logarithmic on that one, and leave that. See what happens. Make some further kind of what would be nice is if we used the fine tune here to LFO1 1, and then kind of slowed LFO1 right down. So quite a lot of it maybe, and then I'll take the LFO rate from synced down to hertz. So still too much on the. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's really nice sound. What I shall do, I think, is save it. Say pre-cert, and I'll just call this Expo Pad 2 to save time. Okay, done deal. Should be in my users now. Expo 1, Expo 2, and there's my sitar. This pad that we've just made, let's get some effects. So there's no effects other than the delays, other than the 2 delays. Yeah, I was going to say, Sam, good call, mate. Yeah, should we do Altether, shall we? Because I want kind of a mad shimmy vibe going on. Altether might be quite wild on this. I quite like the initial patch on Altether. Oh, sorry, someone mentioned MPE there, and that's just reminded me that now Phosphor 3 also supports MPE keyboards. In settings here, you can set that up. You can go into MPE mode, and then you can set all sorts of cool stuff. You can set pitch bend rates, modulation downsampling. The lower it is, the more juice it uses. But you might, if you have it really low, you might hear some artifacts, either or. Just set up. But yeah, it's got excuse me. And you can save your initial startup settings as anything you want, as you set here. Then you just do this, and then there's some tuning stuff. I don't know, not something I'll be too bothered about. But if you want to set it up, you can. But yeah, it's got MPE. So if you've got an MPE controller, it responds to aftertouch exactly like that. A thing to notice as well, which I've just noticed as well, is that running Altether and also Phosphor is still only pushing the DSP up to about 12%. I really love the zing in the background. In fact, I think that first oscillator, this one, I don't think it needs that. In fact, I don't think it needs anything. I think this will sound much nicer. I'm going to save that. That sounds like more like horns to me in the background, fading in now with all that top end harmonic. This is such a nice sound. And guys, that is it. That's how you program it, blah, blah, blah. Right, so it's quite easy to program, and it's really easy. You can, it is nice. You can really, you can get some lovely sounds from Phosphor 3, but you could from 2 as well. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Right, anyway, let's listen. Let's just take Altether out. Let's listen to some of the... Right, so you get 2 packs of artist presets, right? I think the Chemflux Pierce pack has been ported from Phosphor 2. So Chris said that the patches are compatible, but kind of might be a bit weird if you import them back in. So just have a tweak around with them if they don't sound right. But apparently they are. So, oops, am I, looks like I'm buffering. It looks like it might be back, right. So, these are some of the artist presets. I think it's only $3.99 at the moment as well. I find the master levels to be a bit hot. $3.90. Yeah, no, $3.90. This synth is $3.99 at the moment. It's on sale. It's only just come out, so it's not an update to Phosphor 2 sort of thing. Joe's been working for hours now on their church. I've got to tell you guys, it's spectacularly good. Nice sound. Also as well, you can share presets, you can paste them, you can share them with friends, you can do all that kind of stuff. Anyway. like that. But I should be back. I should be back now. Tell me as soon as I'm back. Right, guys, just to save the risk, if the internet's buffering, I'm going to go now. I'm going to let you say ta-ra to each other for a few minutes. You've basically heard what it can all do. Red means recording. Pack is in here as well. Oh, ambient keys. Lovely. That's a nice sound. Okay, I'll start turning everything off. Thanks to everybody who joined me this evening to have a look at the new Phosphor 3 from Audio Damage. I think you'll agree it's epic. It's epic good fun as well to program. It's not difficult. It's all on one page, which is very nice. Very nice. Okay, well, you know, apart from your oscillator control section, but it's all there. Okay, guys, I'm going to close the microphone out, and I will see you. Right, I'm definitely having an evening off tomorrow, because I need to do some rearranging in the studio again. Not this side, the other side sort of thing, but things need to be tidied up. Thanks everybody.